Hey everybody, John Peterson here again with another quick little video on my Fujifilm X-T5 setup. You can see I'm enjoying my cup of coffee here on a Friday afternoon, and I'm kind of slowly working through the setup of my new Fujifilm X-T5. It's something that I could rush through, or it's something that I can sort of sit and savor and enjoy. And because I have a little bit of time in the office today, I thought I might enjoy a little bit of this setup process, which also helps kind of enjoy the purchase satisfaction for this camera. You know, I'm excited it's here. I love it. It'll be a nice upgrade from my X-T3, and it'll be a great partner for my GFX. And I think it's just going to be a beautiful little camera. But today what I wanted to kind of show you is how I set up my D-pad, which are these four concentric buttons on the back. So this circle here on the back is called a D-pad. And for me, this is one of the most useful customizable function buttons on the camera. And the reason I think so is because when I'm naturally holding the camera like this D-pad comes to my thumb very quickly and very easily, and I don't need to look at my camera to change anything or to activate one of these buttons. So that's kind of why I like to put some of my favorite, most often used functions here on this pad. You know, some of the other function buttons that you find on the front, I'll eventually customize those. But for me, it's this one that is most important. So here's a little close-up video as I talk you through how I set my D-pad up for my shooting preference. All right, let's take a look at how to get this done and how to set up your D-pad. So let's go into the menu. And what you want to do is go to the wrench setting here on the left, and then you want to go to button dial setting. Go into that, and then you want to go to function setting. This is on page 1, kind of halfway down in between. Go to the right, and so as you enter this mode, what you'll see is a depiction of the camera. And then on the right, the different function buttons that you can set with an arrow pointing to where it is on the camera. So what I want to do is scroll down and look for the arrows pointing to the D-pad on the back of the camera. So there's function 2, there's function 3. So function 3 is the top button on the D-pad. And right now that is set to a metering, or the metering modes, you know, so spot, multi, zone metering, that kind of stuff. And for me, I'm going to leave it on right up here on this top button, because that's a easy location for me to reach and change if I need to on the fly. And one of the things that's different with the 5 versus the X-T3 is on the X-T3, I had the metering modes up here as a secondary dial underneath the shutter speed. They've gotten rid of that on the 5 and moved it to a function or a menu item. It's accessible on the quick menu up here, but I'm also going to leave it accessible on the function menu here. I want to go down to function 5, which is this right-hand button. This is the one that I use most frequently because it's closest to where my thumb is when I'm grabbing the camera. Right now they have it set to white balance, and I keep my white balance consistent throughout an entire shoot, so it's not something that I'm going to change on the fly. But what I may change on the fly is film simulations, and that's one of those things that I want quick and handy on my D-pad. So if I go to the right for function 5, it's going to let me scroll through all of these pages And there's 10 pages of things that you can choose from and assign. But on page 1, I'm going to pick film simulation. Beautiful. Now, for the left-hand function button, they had that set to film simulation, so I don't want that duplicated. But what I do want is what's called AFC custom, or AF plus C custom. It's really how the camera tracks moving subjects. And because I may be shooting landscape, maybe shooting wildlife that's moving. I was just out in the Tetons and was routinely switching between wildlife and landscape, so I was switching the way the camera focuses on the fly at a particular location. So this is one that I want to change to AFC. So I'll scroll down the list here. AFC custom settings. Boom. So if I do that. So those are, and then the last button down below, the final button is set to performance. And you can toggle between economy, boost, low light, boost, that type of stuff. I'm going to leave this as performance for right now, but I may choose it at I may switch it at some other point in the future. So if I have to press the shutter button, I get out of the menu. And if I click the right D button, you can see that my film simulations come up and I can pick through either one of those. Clicking on the left D-pad, I can pick all of the different custom settings for subject tracking. The top one is my metering modes, center weighted spot, zone, that type of stuff. And then lastly, down at the bottom, and I just press this multiple times to choose between the different performance modes. Economy, normal, low light priority, resolution priority, that type of stuff. So I'm going to leave it in normal for now. So that's just a quick and easy way for you to customize the D-pad on the back, which is one of my favorite things to do. All right, I hope you enjoyed that short little video on customizing the D-pad on the back of your Fujifilm camera. If you do one customization to make your shooting that much easier and quicker in the field, that would be the one that I would recommend to do. Even with my eye up to the viewfinder, my thumb has access to the D-pad all the way around, versus hunting and pecking for the different function buttons that are all around the camera. The D-pad is the one that is tried and true, that I always know where it is and I never have to look to find it with my finger. So there you go. Thanks for watching. If you like this, hit the subscribe button, like it, and do all that kind of good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye-bye.